From inside the ring to the backstage and everything beyond, you're about to get some real heat from Houston.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
This is Heated Conversations with Hall of Famer Booker T on Sports Radio 610.
Can you dig it, sucker? Welcome to another edition of Heated Conversations right here on Sports Radio 610. I am your man, the five-time champ, Booker T. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, what's going on, Bradley?
Hey, what's going on, Book? You gotta love it. It's a great day in the city of Houston. We're back. We're live on the air a little bit earlier, and we encourage everyone out there to call in to the show.
It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful day here in the city of Houston.
And you know what today is, right?
Cinco de Mayo.
Did you see, I don't know if you saw this, I saw Jimmy Corderas, who's a referee for a long time in WWE.
Yeah.
Every year he puts this out on Twitter. He goes, I can never think of Cinco de Mayo and not think of Booker T. And it's funny to me, too. I do the same thing. I'm sure he does. Every time I hear Cinco de Mayo, in my head I go, Cinco de Mayo!
I was on tour with those guys, man. We was on tour and it was Cinco de Mayo, man. I was Cinco de Mayo nuts. And everybody on the bus was Cinco de Mayo. You know what I mean? You know, normally we get some good boxing around Cinco de Mayo, man. That's what I've always equated Cinco de Mayo to, you know, was
this used to be Floyd Mayweather Day.
You know, not just Floyd, but his uncle, you know, what is Roger, the Black Mamba Mayweather. He used to be real popular around this time of year as well. You know what I mean? So definitely, hey, we do got some boxing we're going to be talking about, but man, I'm definitely down for getting into this show. Got my man Eddie Ed working with me here today, as always, making sure everything's right. But I must think, I mean, before we even get started, man, I'm coming off a huge weekend down there in Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. CAC, Cauliflower Alley Club. My brother and I was presented the, Tag Team Hall of Fame Award. And I tell you, man, got a chance to kick it with some of the guys that I hadn't seen in quite some time, man. You know, my trainer, you know, Scott Casey, the guy that taught me the tricks of the trade, got a chance to, you know, hang out with him. Pat Patterson, you know, he was there as well. The Wolf Pack, you know, all of the guys was there along with Shawn Michaels. You know, a couple of guys my brother and I, we used to beat up back in the day. Man, Ricky Santana and the Cuban Assassin, just way before your time.
Yeah.
Ran into those guys, man. It was such an awesome reunion. 53 years the Cauliflower Alley has been in existence. That's since 1965, guys. That's a long time. And I hope to see the Cauliflower Alley go on for many more years. They talked about, you know, needing the young guys to step up and, continue that, you know, tradition. That's, you know, a tradition that, you know, that helps so many people, first and foremost. Big shout out to Brickhouse Brown, another guy that I came up with who's battling cancer right now. I tell you, it was an awesome weekend, and I tell you, it was my first time going to the ceremony. But I honestly think going forward, I think I'm going to make it a yearly occasion.
Yeah, I've always heard about the Cauliflower Alley Club and wasn't really sure what it was. I know that it was always kind of a big reunion for a lot of the guys, and the cauliflower is the, you know, referring to the amateur wrestler ears and stuff like that. Yeah. So who else was there though? So you said Scott Casey, Brickhouse Brown, the Wolf Pack, Pat Patterson.
Oh man,
anybody else you liked seeing out there?
Oh man, Tony Gurria. He used to be a longtime agent with WWE. Man, I got a chance to see him. And my wife, she's in love with Tony Gurria, so I was a little hot. You know, Tony, he's an older guy, man, but he looks like the guy, you know, on the Dos Equis commercial.
Oh yeah, the world's most interesting man.
That's who Tony Gurria.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Yeah, man. It was awesome, man. You know, it was awesome. You know, the Godfather was there as well. You know, he was pimping. You know, he ain't had none of the ladies of the night with him.
No,
but he was definitely there, man. But I tell you, man, awesome.
How did
Mr. Briscoe, Gerald Briscoe as well.
Oh yeah, I got to meet Jerry Briscoe for the first time this year. What a cool guy.
Yeah, awesome.
I wanted to ask you though, how did it compare to, you went in the WWE Hall of Fame in 2013. Your brother inducted you. Obviously, we've talked about how great of a speech it was before. Paul Heyman said it's the best Hall of Fame speech he's ever seen. How was it, though, for you to go into another Hall of Fame, this time with your brother?
You know, it was great. It was definitely gratifying for me to be able to thank my brother, you know, for this journey. I say it all the time. I'm living my brother's dream. If it wasn't for my brother, I would not be in the wrestling business. I don't know what I would be doing, but I definitely would not be in the wrestling business if it wasn't for my brother, and to actually thank my brother for, you know, everything that he's done for me, because if it wasn't for, you know, him, it would be no me sitting here before you, you know, the world right now talking, and actually go on stage, you know, to thank a lot of the guys who was instrumental in that rise and that career. A lot of them who's not here today on this earth, but still to be able to thank them and acknowledge those guys for me was so very important. And it was so many guys, man. It was awesome. You know, we had so much fun. I didn't have a speech or anything written out or anything. And I just started rolling, man. Just started going down memory lane. You know what I mean? Me and my brother just seemed like it was just second nature. Then my brother, you know, as always, I started it first. And I said, I'm going to start this thing first because, you know, I was always the one, you know, taking all the bumps, you know, and getting pinned all the time. So I might as well start this thing and let him tag my brother in and let him finish it up, just like we used to do back in the day.
I'll take all the heat.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll let him come in for the babyface shine.
Exactly.
Hot tag.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it was one of those type of deals, man. But it was definitely so gratifying to actually be able to go into the original Hall of Fame. This is truly the original Hall of Fame. For the guy, you know, and that's the thing. It's a lot of unsung heroes, you know, just, you know, we all would, you know, love to, you know, that's going through that journey, get inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame. But this Hall of Fame here is so different in so many ways because there's so many unsung heroes that you guys don't know about, that's put in so much work, that the Cauliflower Alley makes sure these guys get recognition, man, in this business, man. You just want to say, hey, man, I was there. I did it. You know what I mean? I am now enshrined forever. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about, I think. I think these Hall of Fames.
Yeah, I think that it's just a recognition kind of thing, and it's cool. And I'm sure it didn't hurt to have to go to Las Vegas for it.
You know, man, I would have loved it a little bit better if the weather would have held up for me, man, because I didn't get a chance to play any golf. You know, and Vegas, man, got some of the most beautiful golf courses in the world. They got a little Callaway par 3 right on the Strip. I don't even know if you ever knew about that or anything, but right on the Strip, it's a par 3, 18-hole par 3, no, 9-hole par 3 course right there, man. All you got to do is just take the 9 iron out. You know what I mean? You might want to take the 7 just in case you got a hole that's 150 or more. But just go out there and have some fun, man. Bring the putter, man. Bring the putter with you, and you'll have a real good time. Didn't get a chance to do any of that. It was a quick turnaround. I'm going to Vegas. Didn't get a chance to check out any shows or anything like that. But my wife and I, we got a chance to go to Osaka. Yeah. Beautiful, nice Japanese restaurant, man. They had the biggest sign, man, when you get off the airplane, you know, you get on the ground, you see this big sign say Osaka. You want to go check it out, man. I'm talking about you ready to eat some sushi, man. Are you ready to get some grill or something like that? And I said, man, baby, Google it, man. She said, which one? The diner or the bistro? I say, the bistro, of course. You know what I mean? So boom, What? She Google it, put it in the GPS real quick. Bang, we roll up to Osaka Bistro. And brother, let me tell you, I was scared to walk in because it looked like a dive on the outside. But on the inside, man, it was like melting your mouth. You know what I mean? It was good, if you know what I'm saying.
You always talk about Katana, though, over there in L.A., and I love my sushi place up the street called Oishi, but how did it stack up to Katana?
No, it was awesome. No, Osaka.
Yeah.
Osaka. You know, one thing about Vegas, man, you're going to get some good food in Vegas. If you got...
You're going to pay for it, too.
If you got some money or pistol, you're going to get something to eat in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Because it's food all night. And I'm talking about... What? No, I'm talking about good food, too. But Osaka, I recommend it to anybody that's going to Vegas anytime soon. Check out Osaka. It don't look like much from the outside, guys. But on the inside, Booyah! And I'm gonna get with you.
Well, if I had a recommendation for anybody, that would be to check out something starting this Thursday on your social media, which is Throwdown Thursday, something that we're going to be doing a new live show for all the fans of professional wrestling and people who want to know what it's like at reality wrestling.
Giving you an inside perspective of what wrestling is really, truly all about. You got to know how to defend yourself. You know what I mean? You got to know how to throw hands. You got to have good balance, footwork. Timing is something that's essential for being a good professional wrestler. And we're going to give you guys an inside look of what it takes. 30-minute program from 7 to 7:30 starting on Thursday. What we call it? I named it. What am I talking about?
You named
Throw
it.
down.
You're very proud of this name, too.
Thursdays. You know what I mean? I came up with that. You know what I mean? I put the ROW there. It sounds good. You know what? 5 years ago when I branded reality wrestling, I was just sitting at home one day. We were called PWA, and I said, man, we got to change this name, man. PWA. Everybody in the world has got a PWA. And
they're either a WA or they're a CW.
I'm sick of the A's. You know what I mean? So I said, man, we got to redo this, man. And reality of wrestling, man. Reality of wrestling came to mind. I said, man, that'd be good, man. People don't know if it's a wrestling show. They don't know if it's a reality show. It could be a hybrid mix. I got to watch it. You know what I mean? So I say, man, that is. And then, Row. It just sounds real good. The Row. Oh, my goodness. We got something here. Now, Throw down Thursdays. Oh, man, you got to be kidding me. Your Front Row Entertainment. What do we, man, you hear what I'm saying here, Manny? You hear me? You hear what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking
still
about.
On that from the other night. You know what's funny though?
I was watching Beverly Hills Cop the other night, man.
Such a good
thinking
movie.
about Lux and Biddle. But go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
My name is Wishbone. Or was that in 2? I think that was in 2.
Johnny Wishbone.
My name's Johnny Wishbone.
Psychic extraordinaire.
God, I love those movies. You know what I was going to say, though,
is this a man who lured Detective Rosemont and Taggart into a lewd striptease establishment?
Do you know who that is?
Movie,
that's President Ford. That's President Ford.
Man. Is this the man who disabled an unmarked unit with a banana? Oh, man, that's the greatest movie in the world, man. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say is when you first, I remember the meeting when you were like, it's no longer ROW, it's the Row.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember when you said that, I'm like, God, that doesn't sound right. The Row. I mean, everything's always WWE, WCW, PWA, ECW. It just sounds normal. And now, though, all these years later, when I hear someone say ROW, it makes my skin crawl, but because the branding work, and I just like it, just sets us apart from everything else, and no one else is, now that you see companies though like Evolve, it's like a one-word wrestling company, but the Row just has a great ring to it.
It's something different, you know what I mean? And I think it's really, really hard to be different in the mix of everybody doing the exact same thing. It's really, really hard. It's like wrestling. Every move has been done. You got to figure out, man, how can I go out here and make myself look different than everybody else on the roster? And you got to find it. You got to go out there and you got to seek it out. You got to go out there and feel exactly what it takes to get to that level. And I think that's what reality of wrestling has done. Man, we got some big stuff coming up with reality of wrestling. Guys, if you want to find out about reality of wrestling, just go to realityofwrestling.com. Get with Kevin Bernhardt, send your videotapes. We got so many guys that want to be a part of reality of wrestling right now. I mean, the phones is ringing off the hook.
I mean, at 281-993-583, 5321.
No, wait a minute. That's 281-993-5321. That's 281-993-5321. 5321. Yeah, that's the number that we was talking about. That's the computer voice right there.
Yes.
Make sure everybody get it and get it right. Hey, the phone lines are open, Bradley, right?
That's at 713-572-4610. Make sure you can call us. We're going to be talking about Backlash. We're going to be talking about Triple G going down tonight. We're going to talk about Canelo Alvarez. So many more things coming up.
We're going to be talking about Hulk Hogan.
Yes, the immortal Hulk Hogan.
Could be making his return to the WWE. We got to talk about, you know what? I think we should put some light on that immediately following this break. Guys, stick around because we got so much. You know what? Stick around, guys. Do it. Do it now. I do it
The
for
triple
you.
threat is here.
Drop top Porsche, rollie on my wrist, diamonds up and down my chain. Cardi B straight stunning, can't tell me nothing. Bossed up and I changed the game. It's my big bronze boogie got all them girls shook.
Yeah.
My big fat ass got all them boys cooked.
Welcome back to Heated
$100 bills,
Conversations
I'm
on
rubber
Sports
band.
Radio
All
610.
I do my money dance like, flexing
That
on the
Cardi
ground
B
like,
right there, man. Cardi B making all the money, man. She's hot. You know what I mean? She just to knock Nicki Minaj all the way off the charts, man. I mean, we don't hear nothing about Nicki no more.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nicki put some new music out. It's not bad. It's not her best.
I mean, she can't even make her booty big enough for people to look at it these days. You know what I mean?
You popped Jules on that one. Jules like that one.
Oh man, it's crazy, man.
Did you listen to the Cardi album? Have you heard the Cardi album?
I
yet?
haven't heard the Cardi album, but my thing is, this,
Yeah,
man,
you'd like it.
Anybody making money, anybody coming up, you know, and doing things and being able to take care of their family, you know, keep a roof over their head. That's what the American dream is truly all about. I hear so many people give Cardi B a bad rap for, you know, she's not this, she's not that. Hey, man, anybody come up, you know, get signed and go out there, can make some money and deliver. Hey, she delivered. Hey, give her props. She's making money. Cardi B, I'm with you all the way, baby. Hey, guys, Reality of Wrestling going down next week, live TV taping, May 12th, Booker T World Gym Arena. You don't want to miss out on that. Going to be some awesome. Hey, we got some new talent actually coming in. Got about 6 or 7 guys. I'm talking about coming in from all over the country to be a part of Reality of Wrestling. And also, guys, the following week, May 19th, Ladies Night Out 2. You don't want to miss out on that. If you didn't see Ladies Night Out 1, go back and check it out on
TitleMatchWrestlingNetwork.com.
Title Match Wrestling, as well as we got some of it on
Some of
Fight
the matches
TV.
are on Fight TV.
Yeah,
as
some
well,
of it on Fight TV. So guys, check it out. I think you the ladies, man, all ladies night out. I mean, what that means is, guys, you get a chance to come out to 10,000 M&F Lowry Expressway. You sit down in your chair. You get a nice cold beverage, and then you sit there and you watch ladies fight. I'm in. Oh, you gotta love it, man. Hey, we definitely gotta talk about this. Hulk Hogan may be making his return to the WWE after a long hiatus. It's been quite some time.
It's been what, 3 years?
Yeah,
Two
it
or
might,
three?
It might be maybe 3 years, maybe
Yeah.
maybe a little longer.
Yeah.
But Hulk Hogan, you know, made a inflammatory comment. Of course, everybody heard it. It was the N-word.
Yes.
And one thing about it, that I got to talk about it because my Twitter been blowing up. You know what I mean? It's been like a phone ringing off the hook. You know what I mean? So I got to weigh in on this. You know, and I've weighed in on it before, but I want to do it here live tonight. Heated Conversations, Sports Radio 610. What time is it right now? 5:52.
5:22.
Excuse me, 5:22 Central Time. We got to discuss it. Question is, Booker, do you think Hulk should be let back into the WWE? My thing is this. You know, we've heard this word used for many years. You know, God rest Martin Luther King's soul. You know, a man who, you know, did his best to bring us up as a people. You know, and like I said, I've heard that word used many times, and I've heard it on you know, some of our popular radio stations. You know, on a weekly basis. You know, sometimes they don't even bleep it out. It just, you know, rolls right through it. You know, I was talking to one of the police officers in Galveston. He says the word is a universal. You know, not only the black kids use it in the school, but the white kids, the Mexican kids, the Asian kids, they all, you know, call themselves the N-word. You know, it's become popular.
And a lot of that has to do, I think, with the popularity of hip hop and the culture and it being a prevalent word, I think, in the culture as well, don't you think?
No,
No?
I think it's because we call ourselves that all the time.
Or maybe that.
I think that's the biggest problem. I think until we can stop saying the word ourselves, we shouldn't have a problem with anyone else using that term. And that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people, going to say, well, that ain't the way it is, but that's the way it is with me. I'm 53 years old. I got a wrestling school, and I got about, I don't know, 50 students, and maybe a couple of them are black, but most of them are white or Hispanic or whatever. But we don't use that word. None of my students have ever heard me use that word other than the infamous time on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I said it on national television. I thought I was going to get fired. I thought I was going to lose my job. I thought, the world was going to come to an end as far as Booker T knew it. But the world went on. I apologize to all of my, young black African-American kids that looked up to me and still look up to me. And a lot of them, it's nothing to them, but I say, hey, it's something to me because I would have never wanted you to hear me use that word ever, and they did. But only thing I could do is apologize and we move forward. The only thing Hogan can do is apologize, atone for it, and we move forward. Everyone deserves a second chance. That's just the way I am. I talk about, Hulk Hogan being in my corner, back in the day. And a lot of people, a lot of the boys, they may look at me and say, man, what is Booker T talking? Back in the day, if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, I don't know if Booker T and Stevie Ray would have got the push that we got. You know what I mean? Back in the day, Sister Sherry was an intricate, detail. She was an intricate part of Harlem Heat and our success. And it was all because of Hulk Hogan saying, hey, man, those are the guys you need to put your money behind. Now, I don't know if Hulk Hogan made some money off that deal or not.
Well, he was infamous for being a politician.
He was a politician, but my brother and I, we became Hall of Famers. You know what I mean? And a lot of it was due to that man saying, hey, give these guys the go-ahead, because of that guy giving us the nod. So I'm taking that word and I'm gonna, put it over to the side, and I'm gonna let that man, get take his rightful place back, which is in this business. I'm not gonna take that away from him. I'm not gonna sit here and say no, he should be blackballed, blacklisted from the game forevermore for saying something that a lot of us say on a daily basis. I don't myself, but a lot of us do. So I say, let this man who has done so much for the wrestling business truly take his rightful place, and that's back in the WWE.
Do you think he, though, needs to do anything more than he has?
What else? Let me
just play devil's advocate. There's a lot of people who said that he hasn't done enough to earn that spot back. And one of the guys who said it was Mark Henry. Mark Henry said that he needs to go, and I'm paraphrasing here, up to a lot of the African-American talent in the locker room and explain to it, shake their hand, look them in the eye, and apologize. Do you think there's anything that he needs to do further than he hasn't already?
I'm not offering this. Just, what are we saying? Give him some community service?
I'm not saying community service. I'm saying, when it first happened.
In a sense, that's what you're saying. He needs to do more community service to atone his wrong.
But do you remember when it first happened? Yeah. And I think this is on public record. You called Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Or you had him call you, one of the two.
I called him.
And y'all discussed a lot of things, and the word was one of them. And you even suggested, how about we go around and we talk about the harm this word does to a lot of communities, especially obviously the African American community, and let's work on eradicating this word from the English language. I mean, that was something that you wanted to do.
I reached out and I did want to do that, but I'm gonna tell you, in a situation like that, man, it's like what's going on with Trump and Giuliani. You keep your mouth shut, man. You want to keep your mouth shut. With this thing right here, when it first came out and I reached out, maybe it's something that perhaps he wanted to do, but maybe his lawyer said, "Nah, let's not do that right now. Let's just lay low and try to let this
See if it'll blow over.
Let's see if this thing will blow over." And me personally, I understand that. I'm not going to throw him under the bus or anything for not taking my offer and let's go. Hey, the offer is still there. You know what I mean? It's not too late. You know what I mean? If Hulk Hogan comes back to WWE and be an ambassador, I'm sure there's something that him and I can do. Take on the road and talk to some young kids and tell them the damage that something like this can cause in one's life, and especially in one's career at the same time. So as far as I'm concerned, let him in. Let him in. I can't remember what movie I saw that of, but it was from some movie. But what do you think, man? Seriously.
I don't know. I'm a school of two thoughts on this. I think that if the powers that be and a lot of people who work with him, I mean, as like you would be working with Hulk Hogan, at WWE, if people feel comfortable with him coming back and if the public's ready for it, then that's fine. I just think that I've just read a lot from people who still are with WWE, and Mark Henry, chief among them, who say, like, Mark Henry says this. Can I just quote him on this? Because I found his exact quote. Yeah. He says, "I'm the sitting chair of the delegation, and they are not ready. I've had many talks with dozens of guys, and the consensus is that there are a lot of work to be done to heal that wound and fix that wall." Henry was asked to explain what the delegation is. He said the delegation is pretty much all the established African-American wrestlers in the country. So he says that he's the chair of the delegation, and the delegation isn't ready.
I heard about this group.
About the delegation?
Yeah. And, my thing is this, man. That's like having a union. When guys like that start calling shots saying this person should and should not be. It's guys back in the company right now like a Shelton Benjamin. Did Shelton Benjamin do anything to be outed from the company? No. But did they let him back? Yeah. Do they do that for all? No.
Some of the guys who've earned I think a guy was like Warrior, the late great Ultimate Warrior. There was a lot of bad blood there.
It was a huge. I mean,
he said a lot of things that weren't great.
Not too many people to this day have a whole lot of great things to say about the Ultimate Warrior, but they let him back in because it's not about black and white in this issue right now at this point in time. I really don't think so. That word, me personally, I'm like this here. You a white guy.
Yeah.
I'm a black guy.
That's right.
You got a daughter. You know what I mean? And I got a son. You know what I mean? I'm just
hypothetically. I'm not out here
hypothetically
like
speaking.
Yeah.
And my son end up dating your daughter, and they come home. Mm-hmm. I might get a wide eye for a second. Whoa, son. You know what I mean? You going there, huh? You know what I mean? Okay, booyah. But it might be it's no malice intent or anything like that. As far as me not liking the girl, me not wanting my son to be with her. Would I want my son to be with an African American little girl? Perhaps, but that's wait a minute. That's called human nature. When people deal from a human nature's perspective, they might do or say anything. When it's got something to do with your family, you might do or say, especially if you've been drinking. If you've been drinking, you might do anything.
So you're saying because the comments were made about his daughter and someone that she was dating,
which was the African American young man,
which was a black guy,
and everybody know about black men. You know what I mean? They got big hands and they got big feet. So Hulk, first thing come to his mind, this kid's got some big hands. This kid's got some big feet.
I'm not even going to start this with you. But you're saying you're making everyone laugh in the studio right now. But you're saying, though, to get back into the serious part of the discussion, is you're saying that Hogan isn't necessarily racist. You're saying that he made a comment in a isolated situation dealing with his daughter that he may not have said any other time, but he was a little bit inebriated. You're not excusing it.
An isolated incident where a man was taping it unbeknownst to you. That right there, first and foremost. Should he have said it? No. You know what I mean? But how it got out there because someone was trying to make some money at Hulk Hogan's expense. You know what I mean? Obviously, I wouldn't say he was, coerced or anything like that. But for someone to be taping it and him to have said it at that inopportune time, come on now. Come on, listen here, Manny. Come on, Manny. Listen here. I'm just trying to reach you,
real
man.
quick. I have one last question for you before we go to break. If you go into work soon to go to a pay-per-view, and you're walking into catering and you see Hulk Hogan sitting at the table, he stands up and says, "Hey, Book, what do you say?"
I'm gonna go give him I'm gonna come hug him. I'm gonna say, "Hey, man, what's going on, man? I'm glad you're back." That's what I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? Because when Hulk Hogan, when they ask Hulk Hogan, when Booker T call you the N-word, Hulk Hogan say, "I'm a good N-word." Hey, this heated conversation, Sports Radio 610. We will be back in a momento. That's an easy one. That's an easy one right there, man. I see Ember Moon, not just because she's a former, reality of wrestling, talent, not because of that, but I look at Ember Moon and I look at how explosive she is. I look at her in-ring, prowess as far as her going out and telling a story. She's definitely one to make you feel when you watch her perform and you go, "Oh man, you actually may say that." In the middle of her doing something, because it looks so dynamic, so explosive. So I see Ember Moon actually moving up a lot quicker than most think she's going to move up. I see her being women's champ on the main roster very, very soon.
I remember when she was at Summer of Champions, that very first Summer of Champions, I think she worked a triple threat match for the Diamonds Championship, either the first or second one. I remember being up that close, and you can see, I think the term is lays it in, right?
Yeah, she laid it in.
She laid it, but, not to where it's,
It's not reckless.
Not reckless, but,
it looks reckless, though.
It looks real.
Exactly. And
you feel her.
You wear the stethoscope in the white coat, you play the role all the way out, and that's what she does. She does it very, very well. So I see Ember moving up the ladder really, really quick. Hey, let's get another one.
We got, let's go to James. James has a question. James, you're on live with Booker T. What's your question?
How you doing, King Booker? Honored to talk to you, sir.
Hey, man, appreciate it. What's going on?
Hey, buddy, how do you see that match tomorrow night between Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles shaking out?
Oh man, you're talking about Backlash, man. Shinsuke versus AJ Styles. This would be the rubber match.
Yeah, it's their third match for the title.
The rubber match here, the WWE World Title, no disqualification match. I like Shinsuke. Would Shinsuke be the first Japanese to cash in on a world championship here in the WWE? I think so. Right?
Well, was Antonio Inoki champion or no?
I don't think he was champion.
He might not be right. I think you might be right. I'll check that. I'll double check that.
I'll tell you, it would be a huge, huge moment for Shinsuke to pull that off and beat AJ Styles. Will he do it? That's the question right now. And I said it just last week. When I was in Saudi Arabia, and I was talking about AJ Styles, just talking about this match actually specifically, and I said AJ Styles is on another level, man. This guy is definitely cashing in on first ballot Hall of Fame status as far as what he's done over his career, his body of work. Shinsuke Nakamura, I really think any other time right now perhaps would be champion, but the guy that he's taking on is just that good right now at this moment in time, and that's AJ Styles. I think what it is a lot of performers, a lot of wrestlers, they get to a certain age and they peak, and they're the best that they're ever going to be. And I think AJ Styles is at that point right now. He's at that point to where this is the infinity point. As far as AJ Styles, this is where it goes. This is as far as it goes right now. He's at the top of his game, so I'm gonna pick AJ Styles on that. Let's get one more.
Let's go to Ian. Ian LeBlanc of all people. Ian LeBlanc, you got a question for Booker? What's your question?
Yeah, what do you think about Booker Brock Lesnar's run and his criticism?
Brock Lesnar's what there? What was that?
He said his run and the criticism of him being like a part-timer.
People talk about Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? Him being a part-timer and stuff like that. Brock Lesnar, I've said it once, I said it again. Brock Lesnar is money. That's what Brock Lesnar is. The play is going to be sold. If Brock Lesnar is at the top of the card. I don't care if Brock Lesnar was at the top of the card going against Samoa Joe. I don't care if he was going against Braun Strowman. I don't care if he was going against Bobby Lashley. I don't care if he was going against The Miz. The place is going to be sold if Brock Lesnar is at the top of the card. Now, it's going to be a time when Brock Lesnar is going to have to take a sidestep, take a back seat. Not just take a back seat, but move on. Then you guys are going to wish Brock Lesnar was back. Just like, everybody wished, man, I wish Booker T was back. Man, I wish, The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, was back. You know what I mean? That's the way it's going to be. So I say relish it. You know what I mean? Suck it in, man. It's going to be a long ride with Brock Lesnar.
Just a fact check, though. So there's some dispute with Antonio Inoki being the champion. So I would think that Shinsuke Nakamura would be the first Japanese champion. Someone on Twitter said, what about Yokozuna? He wasn't actually Japanese.
Come on, man.
I hate to break that poor person's heart out there. He wasn't Japanese.
Yoko, he was by way of Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. But I tell you, it's crazy, man.
I hate to break that person's heart.
Oh, my
They've
God.
probably lived since, being a fan since the 90s thinking
Yokozuna was from
Japanese.
Japan. No, Yoko was not from Japan, but I tell you, yeah. We got some talent on the roster right now. Let's talk about that. As far as our WWE roster right now, let's talk about that for one moment. We talked about the guys like Shelton Benjamin. We talk about guys like Bobby Lashley, Jinder Mahal,
Drew McIntyre. Yeah,
all of these guys, making their return. And the thing is, I must say, Shelton Benjamin, it's been what, 10 years?
It's been a while.
It's been close to 10 years.
I mean, during his hiatus?
Since he left WWE.
I'll let you know exactly.
It's been pretty close to 10 years. And the thing is, these guys, I must say, it's a different game now. It's a totally different game. It's totally different rules.
8 years.
8 years. That's a long time,
That's like a whole career for some guys.
You can, become a doctor in 8 years. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I say, what are these guys' chances are, ascending back to the top of the WWE? What do you think the chances are?
I don't know. I mean, a guy like Bobby Lashley's been positioned to be one of the main event guys. We saw that even on this last week from Monday Night Raw in Canada. He was in that big 6-man match. He's being positioned as one of those guys. Shelton, not so much so far.
I don't know if Bobby, I think, may have watched the show last week. Listened to the show last week.
Oh, yeah? Why is that?
Because he made a comment saying that, he's back, in WWE to, ascend to the top, to be the best, and everybody's going to see it. And that's the thing, I wonder, how much, better has Bobby Lashley got since he left the company? I wonder how much better have Shelton Benjamin got as far as not their wrestling. I don't care about wrestling or anything like that. That's not what my mind is. I'm talking about your psychology. I'm talking about your Shakespeare. I'm talking about your Romeo and Juliet. You know what I mean? I'm talking about going out there and, encore, bravo, good man, bravo. That's what I'm talking about. That's where the business, you can't lose. That's where you win each and every time. I'm talking about 10 times out of 10 times as far as your performance goes. People talk about Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels. You know why they talk about Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels? Is because of his storytelling. Shawn Michaels would go out there and take you on a ride that, you have never seen before. He would make you feel something. I remember Jim Cornette talking about, Ricky Martin, looking at the fans and motioning with his mouth with the no words coming out. Help me. That's what I'm talking about. I look at a guy like Drew McIntyre. He's making me feel, you know what I mean? When I look at him, when he's just talking to me, he's making me feel. I feel like a guy like Drew Mack could ascend to the top within the next 6 months to a year with no problem.
I think if he's put in that position now, he could work his way up there, just kind of like Jinder, right? Jinder was thrown in that position as WWE champion, and he lived up to it. We talked about last week on the show how much we love Jinder in that heel character, and I think that Drew McIntyre, I think him being paired with Ziggler right now is probably the best thing for him, because you remember when Kevin Nash came in as Diesel, they paired him with Shawn, and Diesel, Kevin got more popular than Shawn Michaels. And I don't know if people remember, Diesel became champion before Shawn did. They put the strap on Diesel before they did on Shawn.
Yeah.
I think the same thing could happen here with Drew McIntyre in this pairing. I could see him breaking off and being the big single star.
Yeah. That's a no-brainer. What are you talking about? I mean,
well, I'm just saying, out of that pair, I don't think
Dolph Ziggler. What, you kidding me, right? Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler's been champ.
Dolph Ziggler.
He was champ.
Well, you're talking about Dolph Ziggler.
I'm talking about Dolph Ziggler.
I can't even get it out. Dolph Ziggler. I like.
I'm just saying that pair's not a long. I don't see it as a long-term tag team.
I like the pairing. I like the second time around for Drew McIntyre. Like you said, when first time Drew McIntyre, we had him on the show. The guy was 20 years old. He was a young kid. Getting put in that position, it could definitely make you or break you. For him, the latter of the two, it could chew you up and spit you out, and that's exactly what happened with Drew McIntyre. He was chewed up and spat out, but he went around the world and got some worldly knowledge, some worldly advice, some expert tutelage, and booyah, he's back in action right now. But my thing is, I want to see exactly out of the guys that's making the returns, back to what's his name, Spanky.
The Brian Kendrick.
Brian Kendrick. Yeah, guys like that, coming back, making their return. Who else has made a return?
I mean, there's been a lot of people. Shelton, Bobby. I'm drawing a blank on the guys who've come back recently. Obviously, Drew.
I mean, Jericho. We wouldn't call Jericho a guy. He's a guy that just comes and goes whenever he wants. But
Daniel Bryan to a certain extent
Daniel
as well.
Bryan's back. And my thing is, I want to see exactly.
Mickey James.
I want to see who come up. I want to see who rises through the ashes. We're gonna find out. Real soon. Hey guys,
you're gonna find out tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's Backlash. You're gonna see who's gonna be.
You know what?
Walking out of Backlash, the first co-branded pay-per-view.
I'm gonna be at Backlash tomorrow night, man.
Prudential Center.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to that, man. As well, I'm looking forward to that Triple G fight tonight, man. That's gonna be some good action going down on HBO. You don't want to miss out on that. Vanis Martirosyan. That's gonna be a good fight. I think we need to skim over that because Triple G. This Cinco de Mayo. We got to talk about this should be Triple G and Canelo Alvarez. We're going to talk about it back in a minute. Heated conversation.
Walk through the valley of death. I should die before I wake. Please, God, walk with me and take me to heaven.
Yeah. Welcome back to Heated Conversations on Sports Radio 610.
Back in elementary, I thrived on misery. Left me alone, I grew up amongst the dying breed.
Man, it's a jam. Man, I miss Pac, man. I wonder what Pac will be doing right now, you know what I mean? Me and Pac, we was close to the same age. I just wonder what would he be doing right now. I was listening to, the new thing with Snoop coming out. Snoop say he's what Pac would be if Pac was here today.
You know what? I kind of agree with that in the sense of you were a legendary figure in music, and then right now Snoop Dogg's not making the best music of his career, but he's like the OG. Yeah. He's like Bun.
Yeah,
you just gotta get the co-sign from Snoop. He's an icon. Yeah. I'll never forget Snoop Dogg say he did this song and he's listing out all of his accomplishments, and he goes, and that's a start. I'm a bad mother. I'm the only rapper known by your grandmother. And it's true though. He reached that status.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of what Pac would be. Is just he'll reach such a status that he's already is.
Pac music just still timeless though. You know what I mean? It still make you, move, man. Like it just came out yesterday. It's like wow. You know what I mean? I miss that brother, man. I miss him a lot, and I just wonder, man. What would he be doing? What kind of an impact would he have made on the world? Would he have sparked that brain, like he said back in the day? Maybe he may not do it, but he definitely will be the one that sparked the brain that do get it done. I just wonder.
Yeah, no, he would have made a lot. I think he would have been one of those guys who focuses more on the political aspects. Kind of the way he was brought up. I mean, his mother was very big into that, and I think he probably would have followed in those footsteps. But it's funny you talk about his music. On the way over here, I was stuck in all that traffic on 45, and I was like, I got to get through this traffic. And I needed something to get me in the mood to go through it. So I scrolled through the phone, and I put Ambitions as a Rider on. And I was like, I am going to boss hog these lanes. Y'all can't deny it.
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to.
Ambitions as a rider. Yeah, I ran into this kid, man. And I wonder that about Pac, because, I've tried to make an impact, in life. And I ran into this kid yesterday, a couple of days ago at the airport. He's working there. And he pulled me to the side. He said, man, he was a black guy. He said, hey, man, I don't watch wrestling or anything like that. He said, but, man, back in the day, man, I watched you when you was coming up, and you made me believe that I could do it. Not wrestle, but just do it. And I was like, oh, man, that's pretty cool. I really appreciate that. And so I could only imagine, the lives. I mean, because Pac touched my life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he definitely would have been one that I would have wanted to, network with and, try to, like I say, spark the brain, of today, and see what we get tomorrow.
I didn't plan on bringing this up, and I don't know if you want to talk about it, but when you talk about Pac, and he had such a message, right? And it was a clear message. And he had so many young people who listened to what he said. And like you said, he might not change the world, but he wanted to spark the person that would change the world.
Yeah.
What do you think about this last? And we don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. But what do you think about this last, week of Kanye West?
Oh man,
Kanye said a lot of, and Kanye for me, coming up, Kanye was my everything musically.
Yeah.
I listened to Kanye and Jay every day.
Yeah.
Graduation was the first rap album I learned every single lyric to. And then to see kind of the statements he's been making the last couple of weeks, how does that make you?
You're talking about Kanye talking about slavery was a choice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. That just that one comment right there.
That's enough.
It says a whole lot about Kanye West as a black man. Not just as a black man, but as a man in general. Because for anyone to think that was a choice is just, I don't know, what's the word? Stupid, for lack of a better term.
Yeah. There's a lot of other words, but I don't know if we can use them on the air.
Exactly. But the thing is, people like Kanye West who, he's got a break in life. You know what I mean? He's got a great life. He's a guy that's, making a lot of money off of going out there, being artistic, through words. And, he should be, and then again, I don't know how old is Kanye West right now?
Kanye's 40. I think he just turned 40.
I was just finna give him a break because, I was finna say, man, these young guys just don't know. But this is an old man. You know what I mean? This guy could be a granddad. That's how old Kanye West is. And for him to be still out there making immature statements like that, it just lets you know exactly what this guy really, honestly, truly is. And you as a person, you're the one who got to take a look at yourself first and foremost and say, man, do I want to back a guy like this? Do I want to throw my money at a guy like this? Is this the guy that I want my kids to be able to look up to? Ask that question to yourself, and then you move on as far as Kanye go. Me personally, I have very little to say about Kanye West.
Yeah.
We move on.
Let's move on.
Backlash. We got a call on the line right now. They want to talk about Backlash. But before we go there, let's run down the card, man, at Backlash.
Yeah.
AJ Styles
Prudential
will be defending
Center.
shit. Look, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. I got a 6 o'clock flight in the
I like
morning.
how you say Jersey. Say it.
Jersey. Yeah, that's the way you say it. If you're from Jersey, if you look here, if you're around Jersey and you don't say it like that, you better watch your wallet. All right, because you might get.
Is this here New Jersey?
You might get gaffled. You know what I mean? That's ghetto boy talk right there. We got AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship. No disqualification match against Shinsuke Nakamura. Also, Seth Rollins defending the IC Championship against The Miz. Also, Jeff Hardy defending the United States title versus the Viper, Randy Orton. Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Raw Women's title on the line. Carmella, SmackDown Women's Champions, taking on one of the greatest of all times, Charlotte Flair. I'm looking forward to that. Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. That's going to be a fight. I'm looking forward to that. Daniel Bryan taking on the returning Big Cass. I cannot. You know what? I put Big Cass over last week, and I see all the internet sites picked it up.
I like how you're political about it that
I'm politically correct now. Since I'm doing that kind of work now myself.
I got to shout out to Sam Roberts. He had Corey Graves on his show this week, and he said, when I saw Booker at Radio Row the whole day, he's like, I'm a dirt sheet writer.
Now I'm part of the crew. But I'm changing it up now. Internet sites.
Yes, internet publications.
Yeah, exactly. They picked that up, man. But Braun Strowman, Lashley versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I
like that tag match. I didn't know that one was going to be on here. I kind of like Strowman and Bobby as a tag team.
Man,
at least for one night.
I'm not. Me personally, I don't too much care about seeing Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman as a tag team. I don't want to see that at all. But against
Sammy and Kevin.
Yeah, you know what? My thing is this: both of these guys are going to get payday. First and foremost, Backlash, that's some good money. Bobby Lashley, he's back, you know what I mean, after working at TNA. I'm sure he needs that money. I'm just playing, man. I'm just playing. These are jokes. This is jokes. Just making people laugh. But definitely Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, those two guys, man, you know what? Utility guys, role players. I like them. You know what I mean? They go out there and they do their job.
Any situation.
And they do their job well. Mm-hmm. And those guys like that, they'll stick around the business for a very, very long time. I like them.
Yeah, I think they've, especially Kevin and Sammy, now that he's kind of gone that heel way, no matter what they throw at them, they make it fun and they make it entertaining. And Kevin Owens is solid.
Kevin Owens, man, he is one of the most solid workers in the industry, in the business, that the business have offered. I always call him Canada's finest. Kevin Owens. That's exactly what the man is. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna enjoy. I'll be there in Jersey. I might even see my guys, man, the Heavenly Bodies. They may, show up. Not the old Heavenly Bodies, the new Heavenly Bodies.
Yes.
A couple of guys, Dustin and Justin, a couple of my boys down there. Hey, Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. What do you think about that one right there, man?
I find it interesting. I think Daniel Bryan, since coming back, has been put in interesting positions, being number one in the Greatest Royal Rumble, going all the way to the end. They only have Big Cass, cost him the match. I like the dynamic they're going here. I don't know if you were booking this, and I know you don't like to really pick winners, but if you were booking this, how would you go about it? Daniel Bryan hasn't had a real big win since he's come back. He had the WrestleMania match, but it was a tag match. This is like his real first one-on-one pay-per-view match in a while. But this is also Big Cass's first big pay-per-view match in a while. They're kind of booked themselves into a corner a little bit here, don't you think?
Man, this reminds me of an old story to tell.
I like it.
I remember back in the WCW, and I was the number one contender for the United States Championship. And I can't remember, Eric Bischoff, I think he was off that day. I think, whoever else was, under him, they were off that day. And just so happened, Macho Man Savage was in charge.
He had the book.
Yeah. Kevin Nash was above him, but Kev wasn't there either. And so
no one showed up to work that
day. No one showed up. So Mach had the book, and I was the number one contender, and Buff Bagwell was just coming off the neck surgery. Yeah. And Buff comes up to me, and he said, hey, Book, I think we're going to be working today, you know what I mean? I'm just coming off this neck surgery, man, and I need a big win. You know what I mean? I need to get a big win, man. You know what I mean? Just thought maybe you can put me over. You know what I mean? I said, well, bro, I'm the number one contender. You know what I mean? Don't you think that would, mess things up a little bit? Me being the number one contender, then you beat me in the public's eye. That would make you the number one contender. Don't you think? Well, and so I'll go to Mach, and I explained to him the same way. Look, I'm the number one contender, Mach. If Buff beats me, then he should be the number one contender. Oh, nobody gonna remember that, brother.
Wait, you gotta do it in the Macho Man voice.
Well, nobody's gonna remember that, brother.
Nobody's gonna remember that.
That's the way I was.
Just go look at the lights, brothers. 1, 2, 3.
That's exactly what happened too. That's so stupid. That was a good one, man. 1, 2. Hey, man. Just the same situation, man. Same situation. Big Cash, Daniel Bryan. Hey, Big Cash is on the rise, man. Daniel Bryan, come on. This guy, you know, we don't know about Daniel Bryan right now. Coming off this neck surgery, this guy's running on lazy legs. You know what I mean? This guy could be running on borrowed time. We don't know. You know what I mean? But we do know Big Cass, man. Big Cass, you know, tipping the scales at nearly 300 pounds. Big Cass.
7 feet tall.
And you can't teach that, first and foremost. So my money, you know what I mean? My smart money, you know, if I was booking this thing, if I was, you know, guest booker, you know, for the night, Big Cass would be my guy, you know, in that match right there. Big Cass is, you know, money. I smell money with that.
Some people have theorized that they're going to put Big Cass with the Miz, and that Miz and Cass are going to kind of be a new duo over there on SmackDown, which would lead to Daniel Bryan versus the Miz. Would you like to see Miz and Big Cass together? Because, you know, Big Cass did really well when he had somebody doing the talking for him. Miz is a great talker.
You know, I think the Miz is a solo act, man. Miz is doing great by himself. You know what I mean? With the Miz Taraj was cool, you know, but I don't think you want to jump out of one boat and try to jump into another boat and try to create the same thing. You know, I think right now, you know, floating his own thing, going out there and proving that, hey, not only am I a good talker, but I'm a good entertainer. I'm a good wrestler. I'm well-rounded from every perspective. I think that's what the Miz is trying to prove. Hey, we got a caller, man. He's been on for 16 minutes. Let's get him before we go on. I tell you what, we're gonna take that caller when we come back from the break. Hold that caller for me. We'll take him when we come back from the break because we got a whole lot more to talk to you guys about. Like I said,
a lot more Backlash.
HBO boxing going down tonight. Triple G is in action, taking on Vanes Martirosyan and Canelo Alvarez. You know, the question is, what is Canelo thinking about this fight going down tonight on Cinco de Mayo? I mean, coming from the Stub Hub in Carson, California. The Stub Hub? Are you kidding me? Triple G. You know what? This tells me a whole lot about Triple G, though. This tells me a whole lot because I know if this fight was with Canelo, this fight will be in the T-Mobile Arena. I'm talking about 20,000 sold out. Yep. I'm talking about people going crazy all the way up in the cheap seats. I'm talking about up in the rafters, man. But this thing is in the Stub Hub. This place only holds like 8,000 people. So I'm wondering, what is the star power of Triple G? Do this man have it or not? Back in a minute.
I like stunning.
Welcome
I
back to
like
Heated
shine.
Conversation
I like
on Sports Radio 16. Hey, there she is right there.
Yep.
Is that Nicki Minaj? No. Yeah, man. That's that Cardi B, man. And Cardi looked pretty good too, man. You know what I mean? She pretty hot. You know what I mean? She got it going on. You know what I mean? I mean, you ain't gonna just kick out of bed or nothing. You know what I mean? She looks good. She looks real good.
And she's expecting soon.
Oh,
so
yeah.
congratulations to her and Offset.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Offset, by the way, is Ric Flair's best friend. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, he's not the one who made the Ric Flair.
Ric Flair drip.
Yeah. Dripping. Ric Flair dripping.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of like that song.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Ric Flair was on. Flair was on the Tonight Show.
T dripping. Yeah, Booker T dripping.
Someone needs to make that
somebody
Booker
gonna
T
make
drip.
that Booker T dripping song? You know what I mean? This is messed up. These brothers out here need. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But it's all good. It's all good.
Let's get our man on who's been waiting on the line.
Yeah, let's
here
get
for a
him
minute.
on, man. He want to talk some Backlash.
Yeah, Jeremy, you got a question about Backlash for Booker T?
I wanted to know what would be your opinion going into Backlash against not against nobody, but what do you think on this match between Joe and Reigns? I believe Reigns is going to beat Joe.
You know what, man? I think it's time for Samoa Joe to get his props, man.
Yeah, man.
Samoa Joe has been, doing nothing but good work since, coming to the WWE, as well as he's, he stood in line. He's waited his turn. And the thing is, he delivers each and every week. Promo skills.
Joe is maybe the best promo in the company.
Joe may be one of the best promo guys to come along in the business, period. That's where he's at right now.
I don't know, how scripted things are over there. I don't know if they have it word for word, but even if they do have it word for word, this guy delivers it and you believe it. Like it feels like he's legitimate when he's saying his word.
Joe is a very, very intelligent, individual. I mean, you just sit and talk to him, and for 5 minutes you say, man, this guy knows his stuff. And to hear him go out and deliver, that's one thing you hear about guys in the business, when they go out and do promos. Can they deliver a good promo?
Yeah.
Samoa Joe, no doubt this guy knows exactly what it feels like and look like to deliver a great promo. So on that side right there, and then his wrestling. Come on, second to none. Samoa Joe can go out there and go with the best of them. I mean, prototypical body? No. You know what I mean? Samoa Joe is not your prototypical athlete, from that inbox perspective. But give this man an hour and see if he could weather the storm and what he'll be looking at like at the end of that hour. Can he make it? Of course he can. No problem. I give Samoa Joe the nod tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think Samoa Joe wins, too. I like Samoa Joe going forward, especially on that SmackDown brand. There's so many. Can you imagine? No one would have ever thought in a million years they would see a WWE Championship feud between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe.
No,
How great would that be?
You know what? That would be crazy.
That'd be great.
What I mean? That would almost be like, Buff Bagwell and Booker T.
yeah. Competing in the main event,
but a lot better.
Might work out better for at least both of them instead of just one of them.
Yeah, that's the way I see that one. Though I see some more Joe going out there and pulling that off, and I'm glad he asked that question because we were just going to talk about that one there in a second. But we can.
Do you think it hurts Reigns? I mean, for Reigns to lose at WrestleMania, to lose at the Rumble, then to lose at Backlash.
The thing is this here, man. I can't tell you how many matches I've won. I can't tell you how many matches I've lost. It's never been about that for me. It's always been business first and foremost. Will that hurt Roman Reigns? It's not losing, but it's how you lose. You got to put yourself in the right, perspective, in the right position to go out there and lose and win at the same time. That's what I'm all about, man. You got to know how to write this. Hey, I'm a writer, man. That's what I do. Reality of Wrestling. Check it out on Fight TV each and every Sunday. Tomorrow we're going to be the kickoff for Backlash.
We are. Make sure you check us out on Fight TV streaming live. I have one question for you, Book.
Yeah.
Is Mella money?
Carmella?
Is Mella money? Yeah, is Carmella money?
I'm not bought into Carmella yet.
You're not?
I mean? I'm not.
I feel like you'd like Carmella.
I mean,
I feel like that'd be up your alley.
Carmella got to. I tell you what. Tomorrow night she have a huge chance to make me a believer. She got a huge chance because she's out there with truly one of the best that can go out there and, work with a broomstick. I'm serious. You know what I mean? So Carmella is going to have to go out there and prove that she is truly the SmackDown Women's Champion by beating Charlotte Flair. She got a chance. Less than 24 hours, man. It's going down. Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss.
WrestleMania rematch.
Yeah. The thing is with this one right here, this should be a quick one. I feel like Nia Jax should go out there and just, run through Alexa Bliss. I'm talking about romping, stomping, grave digging destruction. That's what I'm talking about. Just go out there and just mow her down. Hit her with one big shot. Boom! 1, 2, 3, man, and just walk away. I think that if I was booking it, probably what would happen.
That's what you would do. But where does Nia Jax go from here? Like, who do you program her with going forward? Is it a Nia Jax Ember Moon, or is that too soon? What do we go with? Do we go with Nia Jax Ronda Rousey? Is that too soon?
It's so much out there that you can do with Nia Jax. Man, there's so many monsters out there that, especially some of those monsters we haven't seen in a long time.
Oh,
some of those monsters are awesome. If you know what I'm saying.
You know what they say, karma's a real,
Exactly my point. So hey, it's a whole lot Ronda Rousey. Right now, Ronda Rousey, she's the talk of the town right now as far as the performance that she pulled off at WrestleMania, and then to follow it up, Monday night, going out
Tap
there.
Stephanie out again.
Boom. So my thing is this: Ronda Rousey, is she ready for a moment like that? Is Ronda Rousey ready to become the WWE Women's Champion? And then is it too soon for something like that?
It might be too soon. A lot of people have been theorizing this, and I want to get your thoughts on it. People say if there were ever to be a women's match that would main event WrestleMania,
Charlotte Flair
versus Ronda Rousey. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I like that.
I like it too.
I like that. But the one I like even better
than Charlotte and Ronda?
Yeah.
What's
if we could, make it work. Hogan versus Flair. You like that?
Yeah.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah.
Hogan's daughter. That's not Hogan.
You're not talking about Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
No, I'm talking about Hogan's daughter.
Brooke
Hogan.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Kiera Hogan.
No, Brooke Hogan.
Yeah.
Versus Charlotte Flair.
Just for the lineage of it?
Man, that's money, man.
But you think it's bigger than Ronda versus Charlotte?
You know what? I think so.
Really?
Yes.
Does Brooke Hogan even work?
We could teach her how to work. Forget about that.
Well,
who cares if she can work?
Well, come on now. If it's going to be the first women's WrestleMania match, but do you think it's possible? Do you think Ronda Rousey and Charlotte, do you think that's possible to main event WrestleMania?
You know what?
It's 35?
I mean, you know what? 35. We got
11 months.
300 plus days for that right there. Of course. I think we could get ready for something like that. But Brooke Hogan, I'm telling you, man. I mean, I smell a whole lot of money. Brooke Hogan just, boom, busting in the door. We'll teach you. Forget about learning how to work right now. I mean, forget about, knowing how to work. We'll figure that out on the fly. You know what I mean? But coming in and cutting a mean promo, first and foremost. Whoa. You know what I mean? I'm serious.
I don't think I would like to see Brooke Hogan versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. I wouldn't like to see it. Now, so a Hogan that I do love is Kiera Hogan. Kiera Hogan's been in reality wrestling a lot, been making a lot of
Wait a minute.
waves.
Have you
Impact
seen
Wrestling.
Brooke Hogan wrestle?
No. I don't think she does wrestle. That would be my issue with it.
Look, man, she went to one of the wrestling schools. She's trained. She's put in a little bit of time. She could actually come down to Booker T's, place right here in Houston, Texas. Actually out in Texas City, and go there and work with him and get some expert tutelage. Give me 6 months with her, she'll be ready.
If you train her for 6 months, I would buy into it a little more. I would buy into it as a match, not a main event.
Look here, this is an offer right here. This is an offer going out. Heated Conversation, Sports Radio 610. I want that match. It's nostalgic. It's a match that'll sell out. Anywhere in the world. I'm talking about main event, Madison Square Garden. I'm talking about, put in one of these. I mean, we might have to put that in Cowboy Stadium. That's how big it would be. I'm talking about, can you picture 100,000? Can you picture 100,000? Man, that's what I'm talking about. Give me, this is an offer right here. Brooke Hogan. Give me 6 months, and I'll get you ready. I'm talking about for prime time. I'm talking about getting ready to do it like it's supposed to be done. Making them all bow down. Making them pay. Making them say, Mama, I don't want none of this. You know what I'm saying? So
I think you're crazy is what I think you are. I think you've lost it.
I could have. But my thing is this, man. I'm trying to create some drama here, man. I'm trying to create
I like
some
it. I like Ronda versus Charlotte more, to get back to the original question, but I can see it happening. Now, another match, though, that's going down that we do need to discuss is the guy who just made his pilgrimage over to SmackDown. That's Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy now is the U.S. champion, and he's going against Randy Orton. That's actually a big
Look,
match.
man, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, that's huge because you got two guys who know what it means to be, main event players. Both guys who are very well knowledgeable as far as the game go. Both of these guys are decorated. I'm talking about a plethora of championships between the two guys here. So, hey, Jeff Hardy, hey, I give Jeff Hardy props, man. This guy has been around this business for a very, very long time, and his work ethic is still at a very, very high rate. And the guy goes out and I'm talking about he don't call it in. He goes out and brings it each and every night. I don't know where him and Jeff Hardy, what these guys get the stamina to keep going the way they're going. I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I'm sure there's been one or two times where Randy may have had an injury, but he's pretty much been consistently on television since 2002.
Randy? Oh,
yeah.
Man, Randy Orton, man. I mean, he's a trooper, man. He's one of those guys he's had shoulder, problems, but he's worked through them. He's one of those guys who, just like his dad, Bob Orton Jr., they called him the mechanic, and that's exactly what Randy Orton is, man. He's one of those guys who just come to work, bring his tool bag, and work.
But he also just, even this far into his career, some people criticize Randy Orton to say that he's a boring wrestler. I don't know what matches they're watching because Randy Orton has given us some of the biggest highlights out of any performer in that company's history with those RKOs out of nowhere. And I find his movements to be so fluid. I mean, they call him a Viper for a reason. He's got that snake-like approach to his work, and his in-betweens are so good, right? What he does in between the moves is so good, and it makes so much sense. I don't know how anyone can say he's a boring wrestler.
Randy is a guy that's still evolving in this business. He's a guy that's still, trying to, create his own legacy. No pun.
There you go.
His own destiny in the business. And he's not one of those guys that you're going to see out there flipping, running around, doing a bunch of crazy, stupid stuff. Randy Orton is going to stay very, very centered, very, very low to the ground. He ain't going to be doing a whole lot. But when you watch him, you say, man, this guy's good. Those are the intangibles with guys. The intangibles are those small things that goes over most people's head, and they sit there and they wonder why they're cheering in their seat. They wonder why they can't sit down. That's Randy Orton. That's the guy you want to watch. Hey, guys, just Heated Conversation, Sports Radio 610. Stick around. We got a little bit more for you. Welcome back to Heated Conversation, Sports Radio 610. You know what it is, y'all. Jackie, Marlon, Randy, Jermaine, Michael. 1980 Destiny Tour right here, Houston Astrodome. Get your tickets now. I was there, man. I was there. You know what I'm saying? Tickets about $125, man.
And that was in what year?
1980.
Woo.
You feel me?
Woo.
Mike say, man, I got to get this money. You know what I mean? Neverland. We got to pay for it, man. You feel me? Hey, guys, I will be taking Jonathan Coachman's place May 14th, London, England, Monday Night Raw. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful night.
All right, Gordon.
And a hell of a show. Oh, it's going to be good. Hey.
You sounded just like Gordon Solie. And Howard Cosell.
Oh, man, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm going to be taking Coach's place again, man, in Lovey, England, man. God save the Queen. It's going to be good, man. Just to make that trip, man, London Heathrow Airport, it's a trek, man. But I look forward to my Monday nights as of late. So all of you guys, all of my shuggy ducky quackers out there, get ready, man, because it's gonna be on like a steaming pot of neck bones, cooking for about 3 days. I'm talking about meat falling all off the bone. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you, because we kind of buried the lead. I know that you were still jet lagged last week when you got back in. You're in a haze. You were in a daze.
I was, man.
What did you think about Saudi Arabia?
Oh man, Saudi was cool, man. I mean, I didn't see a whole lot of it, understandably. But I tell you, man, the food, man,
food was good.
They had a spread for us, bro.
Was it like Middle Eastern food? Like
no, I'm talking about.
What was it?
Now, you thought Mama was in the kitchen cooking. You feel me? I'm talking about it. It was all off the chains. I'm talking about crab legs, all kind of different fish. You know what I mean? Steak, chicken. All kind of different salads and all kind of desserts. And I tell you, it was a huge spread, man, huge. And I landed, I guess about 4 o'clock or something like that, and I got to the hotel about 5:30. Went and got me something to eat. And I was like, man, how long they gonna have this food out here for us, man? I mean, this is some good food, man. Do I need to take me a plate or what? And they're like, no, man, we're gonna have food out here till 11 o'clock. We're gonna have. They have people. I mean, it's English speaking too. Yeah, we're gonna have food out till 11 o'clock for you guys all night. Whatever you guys want. And I said, all right, man. Well, shoot, I'm gonna go take me a bath. Chill out, take me a nap, and then come back and eat dinner. How about that? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's cool. So I came back, probably about 10:30, man, and I'm talking about, man, I'm talking about it was a feast like never before. I can't wait to get back to Saudi. I think we might be doing another Greatest Royal Rumble next year.
I read something about November. You might do the WWE might be doing another show in November.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting back over there, man, because the food, bro, was good. It wasn't so hot either. I mean, it was hot. When the sun was up, but when the sun went down,
it's a little cooler
everything
out.
Cooled off a little bit because we was outside. I mean, they might want to upgrade them chairs we was sitting on.
They weren't the most comfortable.
Yeah, man, they double up. You know what I mean? Just double 2 chairs together. Yeah, sit on this. Hey, man, come on, man. Work with me here. You know what I'm saying, Manny? What's going on?
I wanted to ask you this, though. You're a guy who travels worldwide, and I just wanted to ask you about the man who had the greatest world slide, Titus O'Neil.
Titus O'Neil.
What did you think about that? Because I know you and Titus have a fun relationship. Y'all always, bust each other. Always make fun of each other. Always have a kind of
man,
light.
I tell you, the slide heard and saw all over the world on the internet.
Man.
I tell you, it was one of those things, man. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. I swear to God. I mean, right hand to the man upstairs, man, who put us all here. Excuse me, that was my left hand, right hand. But I tell you, I was sitting there at the monitor.
Yeah.
Titus O'Neil come running out, and he was boring down like a bull. And I sat next to maybe 5 or 10 guys, and believe you me, I said it. I said, Titus, slow down, Titus. Titus, and the camera went away for a second. And when it came back, he was trying to come back from under the ring. And the guys go, what happened? I go, bro, he fell and went under the ring. And then they started showing us in slow motion. And out of 50 guys, Titus O'Neil had to have that moment, man. I'm gonna tell you, man, that it's definitely going to be high on the list for most embarrassing moment of one's career. As far as Titus O'Neil go, and I tell you, I don't wish that on anyone, man.
Well, you were there.
It's good that he was able to laugh about it because when he came back to the back, I know how the rings are constructed. I know up under the ring, it's a lot of steel in certain places, and in WWE, it's a pole like right. You got the 2 posts on the end, but it's one in the middle, and it's an iron pole there as well. And he must have just went right next to it. Just imagine if they had the Jumbotron. I mean, the Tron.
Yeah, the screen. The LED screen,
the LED screen on it. Can you imagine? I mean, that could have turned out to be a disaster. That could have turned out to be life-threatening, honestly. So when Titus came back, he had a cut right in the middle of his forehead. actually. And so he must have banged his head on one of the hard pieces up under there. And I checked him out. I said, Titus, you okay, man? You know, he said, yeah, I'm okay. And he had a real, somber like look. You know, I said, no, dog, let me check you. You okay? He goes, yeah, man, I'm all right, man. You know, you okay? Oh my goodness. I just started laughing like crazy, but I had to check him and make sure he was okay. But I tell you, I laughed like crazy. I laughed like it was everybody laughed, man.
Well, you have to.
And in moments like that, man, if you can't laugh about it, it could really be a bad thing, you know. So I'm just glad he was able to laugh about it. More importantly, I'm glad that he's not hurt, man, because literally that could have been a life-threatening moment. Titus O'Neil could have really got hurt, and that's a lesson for a lot of the young guys, you know, in the roster. You know, in moments like that, you might want to do a power walk. You know what I mean? That was my specialty.
I was about to say, it's funny you bring that up because we talked about this when you got back from Saudi Arabia about Titus, and I was like, you know what? Let me go find a Booker T Royal Rumble entrance and see what he did.
Yeah.
And you would do your normal kind of motion on the stage.
Yeah.
And then you power walked your way to the ring.
Power walk
you did not run.
and I walked sideways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's gonna make me look like I'm getting there quicker. You know what I mean? I'm shaking one hand and like that's
like this.
That's gonna make everybody go, oh, here come Book, he finna do it. But you want to power, and you might even want to take a couple of skips. You know what I mean? My knees was hurting when you saw me come out, so that's why I was doing it like that. But now you want to make a strong power walk. You know what I mean? Maybe even a power walk run, but you don't want to just full out sprint, because I talk to my students all the time about stuff like this. I say, you don't want to go out there and have a chance at screwing up in the ring. You don't want to go out there and do something that you have to practice. You know, you want to make sure you can do something 10 times out of 10 times, no matter what the situation is. Make sure, guys, in a situation like that, you know, act like you're running. You know what I mean? Move your arms like, you know, you're moving a little quicker, but the feet is still going at the same pace. You know, so power walk, that's one of the things.
When he went under that ring and his feet were sitting out, you know what I was reminded of? You remember in The Wizard of Oz when the house lands on the witch and it looks like this right here? And her feet are just sticking out.
Yeah.
The red slippers. That's what it reminded me of.
I'm sure you got a lot of memes as well.
Oh, I'm sure he got so many.
But
yeah, how crazy is it for you? You were right there for the Titus O'Neil incident, the slide heard around the world, the Titus World Slide.
Yeah, I was there.
And you were there for the infamous Shockmaster incident. You were right there for Shockmaster.
Man,
the two most infamous
it's like a fly on the wall
moments ever.
I've been around a lot of crazy moments in the business, and it's crazy. You know, my career, I've seen, you know, so many years, almost 30 years, and it's crazy of things happening in this business. But I'm loving it, man. I'm glad I was a part of it. It was a part of history. I mean, the first, you know, Royal Rumble set in the you know,
abroad, first Royal Rumble abroad, let alone in Saudi Arabia,
in a place like Saudi Arabia of all places, you know. And I tell you, man, all the Royals, they was laughing like crazy too, you know. I mean,
oh, they liked it.
Yeah. I mean,
do you think this is an apropos meme right here? This is a figure of Titus O'Neil and Shockmaster passing the torch.
You know, and the thing is, I give Shockmaster a little bit of a break because he had that Stormtrooper mask on. He couldn't see where he was going.
Couldn't see.
Titus might have bad vision. Maybe that's it.
Maybe he needs some contacts.
He definitely don't have nimble feet, you know what I mean, for a guy who played football. But I tell you, man, it's going to be an infamous moment for Titus for many, many years. So, hey, man, deal with it. Like Ric Flair said many, many years ago, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. Hey, again, guys, HBO Boxing, Championship Boxing going down tonight. Unbeaten WBA, WBC, and the IBF middleweight champion, Triple G, Gennady G. Golovkin taking on Martirosyan. Vanes Martirosyan. Martirosyan's got 3 losses on his record. Arislandi Lara, Jermell Charlo, and Demetrius Andrade. We had Demetrius Andrade on the show here, you know, back, with
a couple months ago. Yeah, back in February
exactly.
or late January.
Man, Demetrius hadn't fought in I don't know how long. We need to get that kid back on TV somehow. But what do you think about this fight tonight? Of course, this is supposed to be Canelo Alvarez stepping in there with Triple G, and that's not going to happen due to a failed drug test. Clenbuterol, banned PED substance. Now Canelo is banned for actually suspended for 6 months by Nevada. So, what do you think, man? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I know
as far as this fight tonight, Martirosyan.
Oh, as far as this fight tonight,
I don't give Martirosyan too much of a chance because he's lost to Lara, Charlo. With the Charlo brother and Andre. And Andre, great. All of these guys are really, really good fighters, Class A fighters that he lost to,
and none of them are as good as Gennady Golovkin.
Exactly. That was my point right now.
Yeah.
Golovkin 37-0-1, and that one is very, very suspect.
That one is an embarrassment to the sport of boxing, is what that is. That's just, it shows you why boxing sometimes gets a bad rap. But he's never been defeated. That's a real stat. He's never been defeated. He might have a tie on his record, but he's never been defeated. And I don't think that it's going to be tonight either.
Yeah. I tell you, this fight right here, like I said, I'm going to watch it. Starts at 10 p.m. Central Time here tonight. I've got a little time. I can go get me a little something to eat and then get home and check it out because I got to get that flight to Jersey in the morning. But my thing is this, the star power of Triple G. Triple G been around a long time now. Normally, it's like back when I used to watch wrestling when I was a kid, and Jake the Snake was my guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the thing was, I didn't care who Jake was wrestling. I just wanted to see him. It was going to be a sold-out house to see Jake the Snake Roberts. Now, this fight was supposed to be in T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, man, where all the money is made. 20,000 people to fit into that arena. Now they're at the StubHub in Carson, California. They were just there last night. Golden Boy promotion went down last night. Gary O'Sullivan fought. Gary O'Sullivan, man, bad Irishman, man. These Irishmen, they are taking over the business. But now in StubHub, 8,000 people, from 20 to 8,000. What does this say about the star power of Triple G?
I don't know how much it says about the star power of Triple G. Obviously, it's not as, his stars doesn't have the magnitude that maybe a Canelo Alvarez does, but I think that Canelo Triple G would have drawn a lot better, and I think that a lot of this draw has to do with Triple G's opponent as well.
Yeah, you heard it. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Hey, check the fight out tonight, guys. Triple G versus Vanes Martirosyan. It's going to be on HBO, 10 p.m. Central Time. Guys, you hear the music. We about to wrap this thing up. Hey, man, it's been an awesome, awesome day. I got to get out of here and go to Jersey in the morning. But I tell you, make sure you check it out. Backlash, main event action. Shinsuke Nakamura taking on the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Guys, you know I love you. All of my team here, I love you guys. Y'all pulled it off for me. And you know what? Y'all made me look good. As always, next week, same place, same time. And we out.